Nestled in the shadows of the Estrella Mountains are the charming cities of Goodyear and Avondale. These all-American cities also bear the burden of America's industrial past. With 2 federal Superfund sites and 1 state Superfund site, this legacy threatens drinking water supplies. Arizona's Superfund program, the Water Quality Assurance Revolving Fund, or WARF, addresses groundwater contamination along Western Avenue in both cities. The project site extends from Avondale at its eastern end to Phoenix Goodyear Airport on its west. The culprit threatening the groundwater at the Western Avenue site is tetrachloroethylene, also known as PCE. This common industrial chemical that is also used in dry cleaning was first detected in monitoring wells up gradient of the Phoenix Goodyear Airport South site in 1993. In the following years, investigation of the contamination plumes required placement of groundwater monitoring wells, soil gas surveys, and the long-term monitoring of groundwater quality. In this continuing effort to address groundwater contamination, the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality determined that a new monitoring well was needed to address questions regarding the presence of contamination at deeper depths. The new well, named Monitoring Well 8, is located on North Los Robles Drive between La Cienega and San Javier in Old Goodyear. The community that makes up the WARF project site in both Goodyear and Avondale consists mainly of residential structures. The housing is primarily modest single-family residences, and Western Avenue is home to small commercial entities such as grocery stores, restaurants and cafes, and a library with several schools. At first glance, a sonic drill rig looks very much like a conventional air or mud rotary drill. Sonic drilling does not use air, mud, or water like these other traditional drilling methods. The drill head contains the mechanism necessary for rotary motion, as well as an oscillator. The drill bit is physically vibrating up and down in addition to being pushed down and rotating. A sonic rig uses an oscillator or head with eccentric weights driven by hydraulic motors to generate high sinusoidal force in a rotating drill pipe. The frequency of vibration is generally between 50 and 120 cycles per second. The high-frequency force is superimposed on the drill string and allows for a continuous core to be collected of the sediment that is being drilled. PCE contaminated groundwater at the Western Avenue Wharf site is located in the most shallow groundwater unit. Subunit A consists of alluvial sediments, which are sand, silt, clay, and gravel, deposited by flowing water as in a riverbed, floodplain delta, or alluvial fan. To determine where in the subunit the contamination is located, ADEQ conducted depth-specific sampling. To collect water samples, a probe is driven into the sediments when groundwater is reached. The probe is placed under high positive pressure with nitrogen to prevent water from entering. When the desired depth is reached, the pressure is released by the operator at the surface and water is allowed to collect in the probe. The probe contains a pneumatically controlled one-way valve so that after the sampling is complete, the probe is again repressurized to prevent any other water from entering it on the trip to the surface. In this way, in situ or in-place samples are collected. Groundwater samples were collected every 5 feet. The placement of Monitoring Well 8 is part of the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality's efforts to identify, assess, and remediate contaminated groundwater and craft remedies for the Western Avenue Wharf site.